Hello again, you're watching today on eNCA, DSTV channel 403. Now, the ANC Women's League is hoping AmaZulu King Mrs. Zwelithini will help with the fight against gender-based violence. Met with the King to discuss a number of issues facing women in the country. This, of course, as KwaZulu-Natal is reeling from the killing of 4 women just in the past week. The body of a 5th woman was reportedly found in KwaMashu in Durban. Well, Nqobile Madlala is joining us, our reporter from KwaKhangela Mankengane Royal Palace in Nongoma this afternoon. Nqobile, this very important meeting between the women and King Misuzulu around GBV, how did it go?
Well, definitely very important indeed, Bradan. In fact, we have got a chance to be able to see the King, of course, meeting with the ANC Womens League. They say, from what we have heard, what they have told us is that it went very well. But what they want to highlight, Bradan, is that they're saying that there's a lot of gender-based violence that is faced by the province, but also faced by the country as a whole. Now, we spoke to the minister, but as well as speaking to all right, let me just show you. This is the King now going to that meeting. Bradan, he is currently leaving. The King is now leaving to that ANC Women's League meeting, which we do understand that they want to highlight the gender-based violence, and they're saying that the King has his own programs that is looking into how women can be protected and how culture can play its role in this. Having spoken to the minister as well as speaking to the Premier, we were told, Bradan, that the meeting has gone excellently well, and they're saying that there are programs that are going to highlight such issues, and that is what they are happy about, because there is progress. But they are going to be asking the King that he plays a role, especially in getting people like Izinduna to be able to be part of those programs, which is why the Premier of Mpumalanga was also here to speak to the King about such issues.
So the King, Mrs. Zwelithini, now on his way to attend that meeting. Did you get a chance to speak to some of the people there earlier about really what they had hoped to get out of the meeting?
Well, definitely, Pradan, we did. We had a chance to speak to the minister. We will listen to her shortly. But we were able also to speak to Obatabile, who was just saying that there is a history of the royalty also taking part in such issues. They said that the late King Zwelithini was always in the forefront, as well as the Queen. And they said that this is very important, and that King Mrs. Zwelithini be part of these dialogues, because it not only improves the communication, but it also sort of sends a message, a strong message to males in the province. But we also spoke to the Premier, and the Premier was also highlighting the same issues, saying that as they work at this point, they work with traditional people, and they were saying that these chiefs in Mpumalanga and KwaZulu-Natal, because most of these areas predominantly are rural, they're saying that there is a message that needs to be sent in using culture as well, and that some of these chiefs are very respected in their own communities. And so it's very important to see the King being very active in making sure that the dialogue of gender-based violence is started, but also to see that men can take charge and also be part of fighting against the scourge. But let's listen in to the minister as she explains further.
Even before the coronation, he had already pledged support for a program of fighting gender-based violence and femicide in South Africa. That, we think, comes with women empowerment, economic empowerment and inclusion. That, we believe, comes with protection of girl children, and therefore fighting poverty and hunger in our country.
Yeah. I understand, Nqobile, that the Premier of the province was also present. After all, she's also a woman.
Well, the Premier of Mpumalanga, Bradan, yes, indeed, Refilio, was here saying that this is very important that they work together with the King. She was saying, of course, highlighting that the issues that are faced by KwaZulu-Natal are not just in KwaZulu-Natal, but they're also in the country as a whole. And so as she was standing here as a woman, she said that it's very important that the King plays a role, but also just to sort of get that understanding from the King that he does know these issues and that there can be progress. Let's listen in.
We've got chiefs across all the areas within our province, and therefore there could not be an event of this nature or a challenge of this nature, so that we are running at an exclusion of our chiefs and our kings within our location, and therefore bringing them on board as they speak to the communities as they are subject. They will be able to send a message which will resonate very well with the communities because they are being listened to.
That's Refilwe Tshweni Tsipane, the Premier of Mpumalanga. So, Nqobile, you said we saw King Mrs. Zwelithini leaving just a short while ago as we were crossing live to you. He's now gone to a meeting of the ANC Women's League. Is that the case? Do we know what's going to be discussed there?
Well, from what we have been told by the Women's League is that this meeting is basically a prayer that has been ongoing. They're saying that every year they would come and speak to the king, and they're also saying that this is historical in a sense that the king's grandmother was always on the ground as well, working with the women. So they were here to also highlight the fact that the family has always been active, but also it is a chance for the king also to put that active hand and that active look in terms of ensuring that there is peace within the province. In fact, they were highlighting that there were many issues that have been in the province, and there's lots of bloodshed that has been seen in KwaZulu-Natal, and so it's important for the king to bring that peace because people fought for it to ensure that there is peace in KwaZulu-Natal. But also they were just saying that they are congratulating him with what is yet to come, of course, and that they will be going to the coronation to be part of the coronation. But right now what we know is that there is going to be a prayer not far from where we are, Bradan. There is actually a tent where there is already quite a number of women that have gathered there, and they are waiting to have that prayer moment with the king.
Okay, we'll let you go. Thank you very much, Nqobile Madlala, to go to that location just a few minutes.